Beginning. The Princess of the Sky Realm. My name is Jace Rowan, and until the day everything changed, I worked as an interpreter aboard the diplomatic vessel Solstice Runner. My job was simple: translate alien languages into human speech so nobody accidentally started an interstellar war by mispronouncing a greeting. I wasn't rich. I wasn't famous. I wasn't even particularly interesting. But the Solstice Runner had been invited to the sky realm of Illyria, home to one of the most powerful and mysterious species in the galaxy. The Illyrians. Tall, graceful beings with luminous eyes and feathers woven into their hair. They were known for their advanced technology and even more advanced politics. But they were also known for their royal family, especially her, Princess Ceres Illyria, the brightest star in a world of literal glowing people. I had seen her only once before, on a broadcast shimmering across the galactic network, but she looked like a myth, not a person. So imagine my shock when I learned that I would be among the humans meeting her in person. Captain Darren pulled me aside before the visit. "Jace, do not embarrass humanity," he warned. "No tripping. No staring. No falling asleep. No." "I get it," I groaned. "I'll behave. You're the only interpreter fluent in Old Illyrian protocol. Don't mess this up." I didn't plan to, but fate had other ideas. The first meeting. The Illyrian palace was suspended in the sky, hovering above glowing oceans and floating islands. Crystal bridges connected impossible structures made of energy and stone. Wind currents shaped patterns in the air. Light shimmered as though alive. Our delegation followed an escort into the Hall of Celestial Winds, a massive chamber that breathed with swirling light. And then she entered, Princess Ceres. Tall, elegant, wrapped in flowing garments that shimmered like starlight. Her silver blue hair drifted behind her in a soft breeze that didn't touch anyone else. Her eyes, deep violet, held the calm confidence of someone who knew exactly who she was. Every human froze, even the captain. Ceres approached gracefully, bowed slightly, and greeted us in flawless Terran. "Welcome, friends from Solaria." Her voice was warm, calming, musical, but when her gaze reached me, she paused. Her violet eyes brightened slightly. "You," she said. My heart jumped into my throat. "Yes, Your Highness?" I managed. "You speak our ancient tongue, do you not?" "Yes." She smiled. "Good. You will accompany me during this negotiation." The captain blinked. "Your Highness, he is junior staff." "He is not. He is the one I choose," she said simply. No argument was possible. And that was the moment the captain nearly fainted. The look I couldn't help. For the next several hours, I stood at the princess's side translating formal declarations, ceremonial wording, and the subtle nuances of Illyrian greetings. She remained composed and regal the entire time. I did not. I kept stealing glances at her. I didn't mean to, but how could I not? Everything about her, the glow in her eyes, the faint smile she gave when humans tried and failed to pronounce Illyrian names, the gentle grace of her movements, was hypnotic. At one point, she leaned in slightly to whisper, "You may tell them that Illyria accepts their proposal." And her voice, soft and close, sent a shiver down my spine. When the negotiations ended, she stood and dismissed her counsel. "Interpreter Jace," she said, "walk with me." I obeyed, terrified I had already done something wrong. We walked across a balcony high above the clouds. Wind danced around us like living ribbons of color. And then it happened. She turned suddenly, caught me mid-glance. Her eyes sparkled mischievously. "You like me, don't you?" The world stopped. I choked on my own breath. What? I didn't. She stepped closer. "Humans stare with their eyes," she said teasingly. Illyrians stare with their hearts. So, what does that mean? I whispered. It means your feelings are quite clear. My face burned hotter than a star. I'm sorry. I didn't mean, but she raised a hand gently. Do not apologize. I find it charming. Middle. The truth about the princess. She guided me deeper into the palace, into a quiet garden where luminous plants bent toward us, as though listening. I brought you here for a reason, she said. My heart pounded. A reason beyond teasing me? She smiled. You are bold for a human. That wasn't bold, I muttered. That was panic. Her laughter filled the air like chimes. Then her expression softened. I must tell you the truth, Jace Rowan. She stood before an ancient crystal arch. Illyrian symbols glowed faintly along its surface. For many years, she said, I have been required to choose a companion. A companion? Yes. Illyrian rulers are expected to bond with someone who balances them. A soulmate. In your language, yes. I swallowed. So, the negotiations? Were an excuse, she admitted softly. To meet you. My jaw dropped. Me? But you've never met me before. That's not entirely true. She approached slowly. When I was younger, my tutors showed me communication logs from every species. One day, I heard a human voice speaking my people's oldest language. She looked into my eyes. It was yours. What? You were only a student then. But your pronunciation was, she searched for the word. Beautiful. I blinked. That was a homework recording. I didn't even submit it. I thought I sounded terrible. I thought, she whispered, that you sounded sincere. She stepped even closer. And I knew I would one day find the human with that voice. My heart stopped. You crossed half the galaxy for me? She nodded quietly. Yes. The attempt on her life. Before I could process any of that, a blast shook the garden. A shockwave threw me to the ground. Guards sprinted into formation. Saris grabbed my wrist and pulled me behind a crystal pillar. 3 dark-armored figures descended from the upper walkways. Assassins. Illyrian traitors. Get behind me, Saris commanded. No, I said, picking up a fallen guard's stun blade. I'm staying with you. You are not trained for battle. Then I'll improvise. The assassins charged. Saris formed a shimmering shield with a sweep of her arm. Energy bolts deflected off it in sparks of blue fire. One assassin leaped over her shield, right toward me. Instinct took over. I swung the stun blade. Hard. It connected with a jolt of crackling light. The assassin collapsed. Saris glanced back, surprised. The other 2 launched a barrage of energy fire. Saris's shield faltered. I grabbed her shoulder. Down. We dropped as a blast hit the pillar behind us, exploding it into shards. Guards finally arrived and engaged the assassins. Within seconds, the attackers were subdued. Saris knelt beside me, checking my arms, my face, my chest. Are you hurt? She asked hurriedly. I'm fine, I said, still catching my breath. What about you? Her hands trembled as she held my face. Jace, you risked your life. You did the same. She exhaled shakily. No. You don't understand. She leaned close. I could not bear to lose you. The confession. We were escorted to a secure chamber, though Saris refused to let go of my hand the entire way. When the doors closed behind us, she turned fully toward me. Jace, she whispered, I must tell you what I could not before. I swallowed hard. The truth? Yes. She stepped closer until our breath mingled. Illyrian instinct guides the royal bond. It points us toward the soul that balances us. And mine points to you. I blinked. You're saying I'm your chosen partner? Yes. But you've only known me for a day. I've known your voice for years, she whispered. And your heart, since the moment you stood beside me in the negotiation chamber. My chest tightened. Saris, I don't want to cause a diplomatic problem for you. You are not a problem, she said. You are the solution I have been waiting for. But the council will resist, she admitted, as will the noble houses. Then why pick me? Because, she said quietly, I would rather fight 1,000 political battles than spend my life with someone who does not see me the way you do. Her fingers brushed my cheek. Jace Rowan, when you look at me, you see me? I felt breathless. You're right, I whispered. I do like you. She smiled softly, the same smile that had stopped my heart earlier. I know. Ending. The choice that shook a kingdom. The next day, Saris publicly addressed the Illyrian Council. Crowds gathered in the Celestial Hall as she stepped forward. I stood behind her, nerves twisting in my stomach. The council leader spoke sharply. Princess Saris, you are forbidden to choose a human consort. The bond requires power, lineage, and... Saris raised a hand. Silence fell instantly. I have made my decision. The council stiffened. Princess. I choose Jace Rowan of Solaria. Gasps echoed through the chamber. Crowds muttered. Shockwaves rippled through the air. He risked his life to defend me, she continued, her voice carrying across the hall. He speaks our ancient tongue. He respects our traditions. He sees our people with sincerity, not ambition. Her eyes found mine. And he sees me not as a princess, but as a person. I felt the entire hall watching us. Saris took my hand. Gasps grew louder. Let the kingdom hear my truth, she declared. I love him. Everything froze. My heart nearly punched its way out of my chest. And I realized. I loved her too. I stepped forward. I love you, Saris. Her hand tightened around mine. The hall erupted. Some shouted in anger. Some in shock. Many in awe. But Saris stepped closer, placing her forehead gently against mine. No matter what they say, she whispered, you are the one I choose. And I choose you, I whispered back. The room vibrated with emotion, conflict, and destiny. But we didn't move, didn't look away. Because in that moment, amid fear, hope, and a future no one expected, our bond became real. And the galaxy would never be the same.